Bergeron on the power play scores! Patrice Bergeron puts the Bruins ahead.
He never wants to be the center of attention, yet he wants to be the man in the situation.
Bergeron scores on the rebound! Deja vu from Game 7!
He plays for the front of the jersey, not necessarily the name on the back.
The impact he's had, community, teammates, and the organization.
Bergie doesn't need to talk about himself at all.
30-goal season.
Everyone knows what kind of player he is.
Bergeron has his 300th!
Does it right every day, treats people with respect.
Bergeron scores!
I'm really lucky that I can learn from him every day.
He's a legend.
Get the duck boats ready!
He knows what it takes to win.
The cup is back home!
1,000 games with one team says a lot.
In his 1,000th game!
To play 1,000 games is special.
"1,000 games, all with the Boston Bruins." Patrice Bergeron accommodates all the attention with characteristic grace, from the curious entering his home to the familiar on the ice.
What's up, Bergie? I'm good, you?
Good. Those closest to him cannot help but to smile.
Just comes natural, and he just wants to be as good as he can off and on the ice.
He's the ultimate teammate. He wants the best for everyone.
I think he looks for perfection. He never sits on nothing. He's the quiet superstar, and he lets his play do the talking.
There is an organic connection in all parts of his life that every moment counts, from rudimentary tasks, doing the hard work, remaining humble, and sharing his joy. Since 2003, he has changed so much, yet so little.
I've been around for a while and I'm still doing it, still loving it, and it's the most important, right? It's to be happy and to enjoy what you're doing.
Bergeron grew up just outside Quebec City, a modern society that honors old world culture. Kids there have a choice: embrace the most daunting season or sit by the fire and wait for spring, alone. Can you tell us what life is like, especially in the winter in Quebec?
I grew up in winter sports, obviously hockey and skating and sliding down the hills and whatnot. We would always find a way to, have fun. Small town, and most of the people knew each other, and no school bus, usually just, walking up there in the cold and the wind. The snowstorms is still school. Don't you even think about it. There's still school, and you can't even see in front of you, but that's kind of how we grew up, and hockey was definitely, you had to try it. If you didn't like it, you were weird, but it was fine. And then, that's kind of how, I grew up, and hockey was obviously a big part of Canada and my hometown.
For those kids who play hockey in Quebec, this is a dream I think for all young guys in Quebec. It's possible to dream, it's possible to get it, and it's possible if you work for it and you believe in your dream.
We've talked about your upbringing before, but it seems that your mom and her worldview really got imprinted on you early in life, and you've taken lessons from that. Can you tell people what your mom does and how that has affected you?
She's a social worker, still is, and I grew up kind of seeing her giving back and helping people, communicating with them and having conversations to make them feel better. She was working with people with severe head injuries. That always stuck to me, that you needed to try to be there for people and show support and go from there.
You've always been about the we and not the me. It's almost like an in-joke at NESN when we have you on between periods, and try to get him to use the first-person pronoun.
I think we're definitely going in the right direction. We showed a lot of character, and we need a 60-minute effort.
To get you to say I or me is difficult. Where does that come from?
I think my parents, the way that they raised us, always about being a family and being together and doing the stuff as a whole, and never kind of, trying to be selfish in any kind of way, and try to be humble and down to earth was always something that I guess we grew up with, and if we would defer from doing that, my mom or my dad would definitely let me know. So I guess that's how I grew up, and it kind of stuck with me.
The man he became today, has a lot to do with the way he was raised too, and we are coming from the same area and we have similar values.
I think that's been such a big part of his success, his upbringing and his environment. He's just a great person. When you see his family and you understand why he's that way.
A team from New Brunswick in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, about a 6-hour drive from home, drafted Bergeron at age 16. But Acadie Bathurst's management was clear with its message. They sent him back to a lower-level team. He wasn't good enough, yet.
We wanted him to go down, get some ice time, versus the lack of ice time he would have had with us, and dominate offensively.
What was it like to deal with that feeling of rejection?
I would take it as, I have something to learn. I got to get better. I got to find ways to be a better player, and I'm going to go out there and try to be a leader and make the most of it. So it's kind of how I approach things.
A harbinger, turning defense into offense. He used what could have been negative energy as a positive. He performed the rudimentary tasks. He did the hard work. A scout took note of number 37.
It was really fortuitous that we had an amateur scout that was working in Halifax. He was actually the high school principal, a fellow by the name of Donnie Matheson, who kept calling Scott Bradley, who was the head of our amateur scouts at the time.
Late Donnie Matheson phoned myself and gave the heads up to the scouting staff. There was this young kid that was jumping out at a lot of people.
Sure enough, Donnie Matheson had raised enough eyebrows that we went up and looked at him and got buy-in from Scott and from the rest of our group that this really could be a very special player for us.
He didn't go to the prospect game, so there was no hype on him, other than the fact that we had liked him as a staff. We had to fight hard to get him, position him properly on the list to make sure when our 45th pick came that he would be, hopefully he'll be there, because we targeted him, and fortunately it worked out.
2 years after his demotion, Bergeron was a second-round pick in the legendary 2003 draft. No one ever again would say he wasn't good enough.
I remember watching him the first day of rookie camp and saying, this kid's a good player. It'll be interesting to see how he develops.
That junior team in New Brunswick wished him well, but kind of wanted him for another year.
He left for camp, and after a week I spoke at the Boston Bruins scout for our area, and I called him and he said, no, it's all right, he's doing great. We really like him, but he's going down, he's going back.
Just kept snowballing. We're going to keep him another week, we're going to play him in an exhibition game.
And the next week I would call him and said, oh, he's doing really good. Now he's in the dressing room with the boys really like him, but no, he's going back.
And then we played him in, I think, almost every exhibition game, and he continued to improve and get better.
He seemed to be maturing with each week too, retaining information.
By the end of training camp, we all looked at one another and said, this kid deserves to make our opening night roster.
Finally, the fourth week, he said, you know what, doesn't look good. I don't think you're going to get him back. What do you mean, not getting back? He's staying, yeah, we're going to take him for a little ride here and see what he does.
Bergie just got better with each day that he practiced with us and each game that he played with us, and he never looked back.
High numbers like 56 used to signal low expectations of young players. Bergeron merited the choice to wear his junior number, 37. His play had spoken for him, but speaking English, that would be his next challenge.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Another 6-hour drive from Patrice Bergeron's hometown led to a different world. He could speak at a high school French class.
Grand plaisir de vous présenter Monsieur Bergeron, des Bruins.
What was foreign to others was natural to him, and vice versa.
J'ai un frère qui s'appelle Guillaume, il y a 22 ans, puis il habite avec moi à Boston. I have one brother, his name is Guillaume.
When he first came in, the language was tough.
It was very hard for us to necessarily get a read on Patrice because he was a very, very quiet young man. I think that language had a lot to do with those first steps.
I don't think he felt really comfortable, and he didn't really say much. He didn't have to.
In 2003, the two rookies, Bergeron and Raycroft, had to shoot a NESN promo. No wonder years later, when he was told to get out of his comfort zone, he did it so well. This was a most uncomfortable test.
I know we got picked because we were the youngest guys.
There's going to be a lot of traffic on the way to the game.
Don't worry, I got Bruins plate. People get out of our way. I didn't want to talk too much either, you know, being a rookie and, you know, what are the guys going to give us a hard time about this? And I'm with Patrice, who's definitely not going to, you know, he just won't say anything. Like, he's good at that. He's figured it out.
Au revoir, have a good game.
You know, obviously it's pretty cool now, and it's been a long time now, but it's real quite funny.
Great plates. I want them too. Are you even old enough to drive?
How difficult was it to be in a strange land with a language that was not your first language?
Yeah, it was difficult, especially my first year as an 18-year-old. It wasn't easy, you know, you kind of on your own. All right, now you got to go figure it out for yourself. I got lucky because I had Martin Lapointe that was there for me that year.
I talked to my wife about it, said, you know, there's a new kid coming in town, and he's gonna be by himself, and you know, he doesn't speak a lot of English. If I can help him out, it would be great. So I asked her, and she was fine with it.
He lived with the Lapointes that particular year, but here's a kid that wasn't away from home very much, and I'm not even sure he had a checking account at that point.
I don't know what I would have done without Marty. He helped me with everything off the ice. He welcomed me to his house.
He didn't speak a lot of English, but he could speak to us in French. Yes, he was a little shy at the beginning, but he really fit in quickly.
He was there for every step of the way, and I was, you know, living with him and his family, and I can't say enough about what it did to me and my development, and you know, obviously helped me a lot to be who I am right now.
It's rewarding to me to see a kid like that I, you know, met when he was 18 years old, and to see the evolution, even with the language. He speaks better than me, and he's totally fluent, and it was pretty impressive.
Trying to absorb everything, the game, the culture, the lifestyle, he had the calming encouragement of an icon who himself had made a triumphant transformation from being a teenager in Quebec to a hero in Boston. Bergeron asked, and Ray Bourque obliged the rookie, writing, "Good luck with your career. I hope you're going to bring the cup back to Boston."
Gave him a game-worn jersey, and I signed it in French, just wishing that he was able to get to the finals one day and hopefully win the cup and experience something that is incredible as a hockey player to experience.
The Ray Bourque sweater.
Mm-hmm.
What does Ray and the symbolism of that sweater mean to you?
I asked Ray for if it'd be okay to get a jersey and for him to get it to sign it, like not for him to get me a jersey, an actual game-worn jersey that he signed. So I was so amazed. It was such an amazing gift, and I said for sure it's going to be in my basement. He was obviously a guy that I looked up to growing up. He was from Quebec and the legend of the game, but also the way that he carried himself, an amazing example. So once I got to Boston and got to know him on a more personal level, I was even more amazed by him. He always kept in touch and wanted us to do well, and would always be there for any advice and share his knowledge and also just be the person that he is.
And for Patrice and for me, it was a natural thing. You see how he loves the game and how much fun he has at it, and that's just contagious.
Patrice Bergeron took over and is doing the same thing as Ray Bourque did in Quebec. Those guys are icons.
Two students of the game from different generations explain how the X's and O's have led to so many W's. Ahead, Bergeron with Andy Brickley. And later, the biggest W, the fulfillment of Bourque's great wish. As an 18-year-old, Patrice Bergeron was adapting to life in Boston and playing the game at the very highest level.
Bergeron is on a mission every time he's out there, like the Terminator.
I play both sides of the ice. I'm an hard worker. I got a good work ethic, so I think that helped me a lot since I play hockey, so I try to continue in the same way.
He's just good at everything. He wasn't the fastest skater. He didn't have the hardest shot by any means. He just always made a play.
It wasn't like he stood out as this powerhouse, but he was so strong in the corners, good on his edges. He blew up a couple guys. He gave him a couple cold shoulders and knocked some teeth out.
Bergeron was the youngest player on an NHL roster during his rookie season, but he joined a veteran Bruins team, which allowed him to develop at his own pace. Andy Brickley took to the ice with Patrice to discuss his early development.
Even as an 18-year-old,
you surprised a lot of guys by initiating contact in order to go get that puck.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Peter Forsberg fan growing up, and he was probably the master at that, of, you know, establishing his ice and taking what's his and ultimately getting the puck back, right, and winning the battle. So I was always amazed by his reverse shoulder hit and shoulder check with the puck, and or whether it was in a corner battle trying to get the puck back. So that's definitely something that crept up into my game by watching him, for sure.
Everybody remembers their first goal in the NHL.
Yes.
What was yours like?
I was on the power play in LA, you know, easy, perfect rebound for the tap in, so it was a great goal.
All right, Patrice, here we are in LA. Walk us through your first NHL goal.
The puck is in the corner, someone from LA has got the puck, and I'm getting the puck back from him, and I rim it around to Samsonov, and then I'm working my way to my position on the goal line. Samsonov grabs the puck here in the corner, but he rolls up, and he goes to Brian Rolston on the point for a one-timer shot. Marty's got a great screen in front, but I'm right here on the doorstep to get the rebound, and it basically comes to here on my stick, and it's an easy tap in.
Save, score! Patrice Bergeron, his first NHL goal!
This is a guy we wanted on the ice, Dave. Getting more and more confidence with each game, with each given responsibility that he earns.
I just remember, you know, the rest of the four guys on the ice kind of celebrating with me, and it was just a great feeling.
And even at that point in your career, it was still all about winning. It wasn't about individual success, was it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I won't lie. That was a special feeling to score your first goal, and you know, in the NHL, because it's a dream come true. But that being said, you know, felt like it was a big goal for that game also.
After Bergeron's second season, the team was in turmoil, and each player had to wonder where or if he would fit into the Bruins' future.
It's my commitment to bring back a winning tradition to the Boston Bruins organization.
2006, Boston had a new GM. The NHL had a salary cap. Peter Chiarelli's mandate? Build a modern-day big bad Bruins. The roster needed help. The new regime landed hockey's toughest player to play against, Zdeno Chara, and a slick #1 center in Marc Savard. Where was Patrice Bergeron's piece of the puzzle going to fit?
At one point, when you were up for a contract, did you go to the Bruins and say, look, what is the plan?
I wanted to be on a winning team, and I wanted guys to stick around and leave room for them as well, as crazy as it may sound, you know, because I know we're all well compensated, and you know, I'm not trying to say that, you know, I took much of a discount, because it's obviously huge numbers, but I wanted to make sure that there was still some left for them to build a contender, and also to have the security of being able to stay here.
When I arrived, that was his probably second full year with the Bruins. Pretty quiet guy, probably not as comfortable to be in that leader position. But as the years went by and we had new guys coming in, he really took up on that role.
October 27th, 2007. Philadelphia's Randy Jones boards Bergeron.
We got an injured goal.
Well, I saw it happen. You know, from the bench, I could see the hit.
Guy finishes guy right through the numbers, and the worst possible outcome imaginable.
Doctors would diagnose a grade 3 concussion. There is no grade 4.
You know, you hope that he survives, just he keeps on living. That was my first thought.
You're just praying that, you know, at the end of the day, he comes off the ice, and you're going to get some kind of good news.
There's been improvement from last week, and I'm just trying to take that as a positive, and look forward to get better. I don't want to rush things, and I don't want to take any chances at the same time.
Patrice is young when that happens, and there's a question mark as far as the end of his career. Will he be able to come back? And I remember Peter and I talking to his parents and promising that we would do the right thing for Patrice the whole way. Patrice in the playoffs against Montreal, we're just getting ready for Game 7, and he's been skating with us for quite a while. 2, maybe even 3 weeks, if not more.
And he was ready to play, and he wanted to play, and I think it was the best thing we ever did, not playing him. It just allowed him more time to heal.
To this day, I'm really happy that that was the right decision to do, and, you know, kept our promise to his family. And, you know, we've always said health comes before the work, and family comes before the work. And that was a great opportunity to prove that.
Patrice Bergeron!
Resilience is woven into Bergeron's DNA.
His dedication and work ethic certainly gets him back on the ice.
Just glad he came out of it the way he did.
Over the course of the following season, he recovered his game.
To come back after that, for not playing a year, I don't think many players could do that.
The tip by Bergeron scores! Patrice Bergeron is back on the board!
The next winter, Bergeron was better, and so were the Bruins. They went up 3-0 in the second round of the 2010 playoffs. Philadelphia stormed back, knocking David Krejci out with a season-ending wrist injury. But even after the Flyers evened the series, the Bruins took command early in Game 7.
Scores! 3-0 Bruins! 2 for Lucic!
Philadelphia, that was a big one, obviously. You learn that it's not over until it's over. I remember being on the bench and cheering after we were up 3-0 and it was the third period.
They've got Philly on the run!
I remember thinking, like, hey, it's a lot of game left.
Loose puck, Gagne scores! Philadelphia, for the first time in the series, has history on its side!
I still can't believe you know, how it happened and that we let it happen too.
The Boston Bruins, a collapse they will never be able to forget.
Sometimes when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, the world is ending, but then you realize that, you know, it builds you and it makes you stronger.
That recurring theme. Did you guys take what happened to you in 2010 and instead of feeling sorry for yourselves, build that into the character of the 2011 team?
I think 100% for sure. Even more so in the playoffs, I think, when you're up, you never take it for granted. You know, you got to close it, and the toughest game to win is the 4th game. So that was definitely a lesson learned after that.
You know, you learn from the losses, not from the wins, so we took that and moved on.
In playoffs, you gotta always keep the foot on your pedal and keep pushing, and drive for that perfection.
What nearly killed their spirit had made it stronger. They would need all of that and more in 2011. Since 2003, Patrice Bergeron's play had done his talking for him. In 2011, soon-to-be Hall of Famer Mark Recchi thrust leadership upon him.
I remember going in the dressing room and I said, it's your time and they need to hear your voice. And he talked from that point on. It took off. It was right there for him. He needed a little nudge. He was a great leader already as it was.
He really took up on that role of being more vocal, outspoken, helped me as a captain to take the charge of the room.
Beneath Patrice Bergeron's kind and humble demeanor is impenetrable bedrock, determination that can be scarred but not destroyed.
Nobody saw this coming, but the Montreal Canadiens take both of the first 2 games in Boston and send the Bruins up against the wall early.
Was the first round in 2011 the key moment where this team realized that it can do anything?
Being down 2-0 and being able to go back 2-2 in Montreal was probably the best thing that could have happened for that playoff run.
Down 2-0 in the first round against Montreal, and we were just like, okay, this is the time we need to really push.
Ryder scores! 5-4 in OT! Back to Boston, tied 2 games apiece.
Winning those 2 games, it propelled us, I think. There's nothing that was going to stop us.
Game 5 to the Bruins, Game 6 to the Canadiens, and it was Game 7 at TD Garden. As everyone on both sides knew, history loved the Habs.
The Bruins as an organization have lost 4 straight 7th games, but these players in front of Claude Julien are living in the moment.
Critics is always going to be there, and it's totally fine to me. Obviously there was some rumblings, you know, obviously in the Canadian series about Claude and the future and all that stuff, and to me that's perfect. It's just another challenge that you hit face first. You just go out there and just kind of, you get it done, and then you move forward.
Top of the circle, Horton, the drive, score! The Bruins knock out Montreal!
Game 7 was obviously winning that in overtime like we did, kind of helped bringing some people on board for sure for the run.
Absolutely huge for the Boston Bruins.
For us, I think it was to put ourselves in a bubble to keep that confidence and keep that energy going.
Zdeno Chara and the Boston Bruins get the 700-pound seventh-game gorilla off their backs.
We grew as a team, and we were in that new territory that none of us been before. You could sense with that energy that the town was going through and bring the best out of us for the team.
Boston was a hockey town again. Lessons learned. The Bruins smacked down Philly in a sweep.
For the first time in 19 years, the Boston Bruins will play in the Eastern Conference Finals.
An epic Game 7 win against Tampa Bay.
And New England has Stanley Cup fever again.
In the Stanley Cup Final, Game 7 in Vancouver, where they had scored only 3 goals in 3 games, all losses.
You know, I've dreamed of this my whole life pretty much, and now I'm here, so just gotta go out there and enjoy it.
I'm sure you can remember the weather on June 15th, 2011. Yeah. Can you remember all the details of that day?
Pretty amazing how I don't necessarily remember what I did last week, but then I could remember everything about that day. It goes to tell you how important it was to all of us and how special it was.
I'll never be able to describe the feeling of that whole entire day. From breakfast.
So quiet, no one was really talking.
You know, the nerves that you could see all the way around the room, and you know, how calm guys were.
I remember seeing Mark Recchi, he was so in control, and that kind of made me relax a little bit. I asked him, have you ever been in those situations? He's like, yeah, twice. I was like, and? He's like, won both. I was like, okay, we're good then.
We talked a little bit in the morning too, and it's a Game 7, but if you make it bigger, sometimes it can bite you in the butt, as they say, and we just talked about embracing it and playing the same way we've played all year and taking it as a game, and if we do that, we're going to have a great game and we're going to be fine.
Great to be able to have him, you know, on our side and calm guys down and see that it was, I mean, it wasn't just another game, but still, we just had to be this ourselves and bring it and just go out there and do your job, do what you've been told. And play hard, and things will unfold, and that's what happened.
Bergeron and his familiar winger made it happen in the biggest game of their lives.
Started climbing up the wall and looking to make a play.
Marchand looking, curls out to the right circle.
Nothing was really open, so I kind of turned back.
Spins back in deep.
Berge always finds that soft spot in the high slot. He's so good at getting that shot off. I just had to find an area, and he would get to it.
Feeds it in front, score!
Still to this day, don't know how he saw it. He went through 2 or 3 bodies.
Patrice Bergeron on the slot, set up by Marchand.
Kind of took a minute to realize it went in for both of us.
And the Bruins with a 1-0 lead in the first.
We were ecstatic, you know, we were both kind of jumping around and just kind of set the tempo for the game.
It gave us so much energy, you know. Obviously, when your team scores, it just kind of lifts you up, right? So when you score in Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals, then, you know, try to catch me.
From that point forward, we just kind of feel like we got this.
Got the lead, and you know, that kind of like get us going, and we got second, third, and we were just in control of the game.
And the shorty all but sealed the game.
Could have went either way, right?
Patrice coming down on Luongo, getting taken down in the process, like malt.
Bergeron trying to settle it down the middle, being chased.
Still so focused on the puck while he was on literally his elbows and knees.
Bergeron to the net, bumped down by Ehrhoff.
Able to slide the puck past Luongo.
Score! It rolled in!
I mean, I didn't touch it with my hand, but still I made contact with Luongo even though I was stripped.
Bergeron gets it shorthanded!
I think everybody's a little bit shocked that he had actually scored that goal, including Luongo.
And the Bruins have a 3-0 lead!
Obviously, Berge stepped up and dominated, as he always does in those situations.
Getting that shorthanded goal was big for our morale, but also for them to kind of, you know, it deflated them a bit, for sure.
Listen, I could envision other players sort of saying, oh, I drew the penalty, it's up, I'm giving up. Now Patrice fought to the last moment, and we end up scoring that goal and going on to win Game 7. It really is emblematic of Patrice himself.
Get the duck boats ready!
You win a cup, you remain together forever.
The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
I'm almost at a loss for words to describe, sort of thinking back about what that meant.
Come on, Bergie! Yeah!
That moment is almost surreal. It's not almost, it is surreal. When you walk on the ice and you realize what has just happened.
Woo! Their first Stanley Cup since 1972.
That whole feeling, it was a childhood dream. It's a dream come true. It's something that you work so hard for, so you soak everything in and you just try to put that your memory back.
Family first, from darkness to the brightest light imaginable. Then to share the joy, to the hospitals, to his hometown. Never about the me, always about the we.
It's unbelievable. Obviously, bringing it back in Quebec City is something very special, something I'm very proud of.
Just a way to say thanks to everybody, to share this happiness, to say to everyone he loves them. And this is Patrice. He loves people, he loves everyone.
Being able to do it in my hometown means a lot to me. It's very special.
As complete a player as anyone in this era, what enables him to do so much so consistently? Andy Brickley and Bergeron, a meeting of the minds, next.
Patrice Bergeron buries it, and the Bruins win in sudden death OT.
The bigger the game, the louder the noise, the more the quiet kid from Quebec won. Gold alongside Crosby in Vancouver in 2010. His first Selke Trophy as hockey's best defensive forward in 2012.
He's in the conversation every year. When you have players like Sidney Crosby that want to play with Bergeron every time they're on the international stage.
I had him in 2010 at the Olympics, I had him in 2014 at the Olympics. You win. He's just an elite player, that's all there is to it.
If you ask around the league, one player everybody would love to have on their team, I guarantee you, like in those top three would be Patrice Bergeron.
Oh, Bergeron swipes the puck away.
Everyone knows the top players in the league, and he's one of them.
Lucky to be part of that and get to call him Selke every day.
Four-time Selke winner makes the defensive play, sends Marchand in, and Marchand finds the corner.
Selke's best defensive forward in the game. Just in general, what makes a really good defensive player in the NHL?
There's a lot of coaching that's involved with that. I think, obviously the hockey IQ and, your instincts kicks in, and you have to read the ice and read the play in order to be in position.
One of the best centermen in the league. I'm sure there's a variety of things you do to try to win a draw, different techniques, but what's your go-to?
Turn my hand up, around. I feel like there's a lot more strength doing that than try to pull, with my hand like that. If I pull like this, there's a lot more pull to it. Hand up and try to have a really wide stand. I think having a low center of gravity kind of helps you. You have a job to do, and it's about, making sure you're winning that.
Linesman standing right in there. He's holding the puck in his hand. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at that puck.
Right at the puck.
Yes, for sure. If his stick is going to be closer to the linesman, I'm going to try to do the same thing. And if I'm here and your stick is there, you're obviously going to get there first. So I'm trying to look at where the other guy's stick will be, and try to read that as well.
Have you ever let somebody win a draw just to set them up for later in the game?
No, I've never done that.
Okay. I thought you might have.
Game 7, it's all about the moment.
Just when you thought he might have done everything possible, the seemingly impossible. 2013, Game 7 against Toronto. 11 minutes to play, down 3 goals.
The Leafs are running the Bruins out of their own building.
It's Game 7, third period. Brick and I, in that TV break, were discussing, okay, when do we start the obituary, right?
Yeah.
How is this team going to get pulled apart and rebuilt? What happened?
I know, the experience, of believing and realizing it's not over till you say it's over. Same situation as 2010, but like the opposite. We're the ones. I've been there before.
If we could get one before the 10-minute mark, we have a chance.
Lucic charges down the left wing.
Went around the net and found Horty.
Throws it right in front. Horton scores!
Hoping that if we get a 1 goal, then, there's still time left.
10:42 to go.
It's still, it took a long time to get that third and fourth goals.
Bergeron to Chara, the one-timer, save, rebound, Lucic scores!
Lucic's goal really kind of brought us back in it.
1:22 to go!
I just turned it on because I didn't want it to end.
Boston will use their timeout.
Seconds ticked toward the end of a season.
Keep the pressure on if you're Boston.
What was Kipling's lead? If you can keep your head.
Over to Bergeron, down to the circle to Krejci.
When all about you are losing theirs.
53 seconds to go. Bergeron's shot, score! Patrice Bergeron ties it! Hearts of Lions!
Were you compartmentalizing? Were you just playing the game 1 second at a time and trying to think ahead to how you could try to make that sports miracle happen?
Yeah, I think I was in the moment. You know, I think you have to be in the moment if you want to be at your best and use your instinct. That's when things slow down. That's when you're able to make the plays that you want to make. You're thinking ahead, or if you're in your head too much, and that's when you're not making the right decision.
It'll go to sudden death overtime in Game 7.
I was just trying to find a way to make the right play and see what was open.
Game 7 overtime.
The drive, save, rebound is loose.
The stuff of which rink rats' dreams are made.
Just having everyone celebrating and all the guys kind of jumping on top of each other, and it's special, and you need to cherish that and enjoy them. It's pure joy.
Obviously, it was Bergie who scored the overtime winner. Got to say that many, many times. He seems to be there when it's most needed.
I don't even know how to explain it. Just to share something like that with a teammate like Bergie is something special and something that I'm sure we'll talk about when we're in our 60s and 70s.
Boston charged through to the Stanley Cup final for the second time in 3 years, playing the Chicago Blackhawks, who were at their pinnacle of power. Chicago targeted Bergeron. By Game 6, he was pretty beaten up.
He had a fractured rib, and there was no holding him back.
I don't know how many athletes would go ahead and do that. I can't imagine the pain that he was in to get himself ready to play.
He never let on in that room that he was hurting at all.
We had some meetings with doctors in the morning and trying to figure it out and see what we could do to make it work. But obviously it got worse and it snowballed from there.
Was your nose broken as well?
Well, that was broken from the Pittsburgh series, so it was a long time.
So that didn't count, right?
No,
yeah, right.
Count. Nose was fine by then. It'll never be fine anyways.
In a scintillating finale, Chicago won it.
Score! With 1:16 remaining to tie it up at 2.
2 goals in the last minute and a half.
Point a long drive, tap, scored! And all of a sudden the Hawks have the lead with 58.3 seconds left.
Chicago had won a series between 2 great teams.
As time expires, and the Chicago Blackhawks are Stanley Cup champions in 2013.
The Bruins learned in the somber dressing room that Bergeron had played through a separated shoulder, a broken rib, and a collapsed lung.
Bergie was legit in the hospital for a week or 2 after Game 6. I fought for a living. I wouldn't have been able to put up with that pain threshold. That's a whole nother level of toughness.
We all paid a visit next few days at the hospital, and you saw how much he was hurting, so that put it in a real perspective that Patrice is obviously a guy who is extremely tough and willing to do whatever it takes.
As he has gained fame, Bergeron has used his platform to expand and extend the legacy of the Boston Bruins. Patrice's pals are his guests at the Garden, but his goals go way beyond the rink.
How's it going? How you doing? Good.
A hockey player who came to Boston speaking only French already knew a universal message. To spread joy to those who could use a pick-me-up raises everyone's game. Patrice Bergeron established Patrice's Pals in 2006, giving a luxury suite experience to children. The best part for the kids is the post-game meet and greet, when they get the superstars' full attention.
It puts everything in perspective, right? So if the game is a good or bad game, you know, I know that it's their time to get away from what they're going through, and it's a moment for us to put a smile on their face and for them to kind of enjoy, you know, a hockey game.
I was in Children's Hospital when I came to. The first jersey I had in my room was Patrice Bergeron, and it had a handwritten note with it, and it said, you know, to Matt, you know, be patient and stay positive. And those are words I needed to hear at the perfect time. Over the years, we got closer and closer. Now it's seeing a friend coming in. The relationship has really come, you know, full circle.
It's really nice to have someone like take the time to care for someone like myself.
They're the ones that are battling, they're the ones that are fighting, they're the ones that are so courageous. So I'm trying to take the time to do it right.
That's what being a Bruin's all about, and Patrice leads by example.
I think people can feel it. You know, it's not only the way you act or he acts, but more the way, you know, people feel when they're with him or when, you know, we're together. It's just natural.
Did you have fun? Yeah, good. I like that. Thanks, my friend. Thanks for the advice. Good to see you. Less passing, more shooting. I like that.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like the more joy you give, the more joy comes back to you, probably. I think Pat realizes that. Enjoy life this way, no matter like how difficult and what the challenges can be.
It's all connected, isn't it? The way you approach life and the way you approach hockey, that it's not about the individual, it's about how the group does. It's about spreading your joy of life to others.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how I approach the game, that's how I approach life and family as well. You know, when I come home, it's always you know, kids and my wife as a priority, and we're having, you know, again, it's the family. It's not just me, or it's not just, you know, my wife. It's everyone together to make sure that we kind of all connect.
Our son being 3, and you know, it's every day is a challenge, and it's you always have to adapt. We are trying to remember this and to teach our kids the similar values that we learned growing up too.
Right from when my son was born, it changed my life forever. You know, you care so much for them. For my son and my daughter, obviously, they have 2 different personalities. They're their own person, and you interact differently with them. It's amazing. You know, you love them to death, obviously, and you do anything for them, and it's so amazing to watch them grow and you know, and started walking and talking and speaking, and now my son speaks in French and English. It's just amazing to see how great and how beautiful they are.
Bergeron came to the U.S. and had to adjust to the culture. What he eventually will leave behind when his playing days are done is a Bruins culture he himself has shaped.
If you play till you're 40,
Rink wide, centered, deflected, backhand, they score! Patrice Bergeron!
You guys had a phenomenal experience in the Winter Classic. There was a sequence in that game that everyone says, this is classic Patrice Bergeron. The 200-foot game, the back check on the shorthanded chance, and then shortly thereafter in the offensive zone, score a power play goal. I remember talking to Ray Bork, and I said, you know, do you realize how good you are? And he said, yeah, I do. A rare moment where he would admit that. So I'm asking you, do you realize how good you are?
I don't know. I think Ray is that good. That's the thing. We all have a special talent, and that's why we're here.
Johnny Busick, he said he was learning right to the last day he played. What in your game now that might have not been as good when you were younger that you're proud of right now that's improved?
I'm kind of proud that I'm still able to keep up with Brad and David right now, you know, and even from when I was 18 years old, people were saying I wasn't fast enough, and I've worked on that.
You're going to play till you're 40-something the way Z's playing?
I feel like it's a long way away. I love the game, but I can't say yes or no for now.
It is just one game, this milestone of 1,000, but it is the measure of the man that despite all the titles and honors and achievements, he remains in the moment, insatiable in his desire to improve himself and everyone around him.
He's always that guy that is pushing to be better and trying to push harder to improve his game.
Try to teach everybody what he has done. I'm really lucky that I'm in his era here, you know, and could learn from him.
When the other guys come in the league and they see the way he leads the way, then follow his leadership, and he's been really good at it. So that's what I've been trying to do.
He's the heart of it right now. It doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon.
Bergeron has his 300.
To professional athletes, deeds are proof. No medal or sash can touch the honor of commanding the universal respect of those who have gone before.
I put him right on top. He's right along Bobby Orr.
He should have his name in the rafters as a result of what he's accomplished as a Boston Bruin.
To play for one organization 1,000 games certainly says a lot. That's a lot of hockey. Being one of 5 for a franchise this old is pretty special.
There's much more to come for him because he's still, I see him playing for quite a while still.
Hockey's unwritten rule is to leave it better than you found it. From childhood through fatherhood, from Pee Wee to a consensus Hall of Fame career, Patrice Bergeron has lifted a cup. His family, his team, his sport, and his adopted city.
If you play till you're 40, your kids will just barely be getting a grip on what you've done in hockey. Yeah. But they will not have been able to observe all that you do to make your team and the city and your teammates proud of you. What do you want them to know that they can't observe because they're too young?
Yeah. What I guess I want to share with them is basically to be respectful and to work hard in everything that you do, to have goals and to have dreams and to realize that anything's achievable. Because I'm the perfect example. I was small, I got cut in the midget ages when I was 16 and junior. So to me, like, it's, you know, if you have a path or a way that you want to go to, I think there's no impossible, you know, that there's no right or wrong. Just believe in yourself and be respectful of others and just enjoy what you do, whatever it is, whatever your passion is. So that's what I hope people see out of me, is that, you know, I'm enjoying myself. I'm trying to be me, and I'm lucky enough to be part of something special with amazing friends and teammates and friendships that I'll carry forever.